It's Nick with Gutter Freedom. I get this, people say this, in Florida, we don't need gutters. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard in the history of crazy things. What do we get in Florida more than anywhere else? Hurricanes, tornadoes, rain, storms, all the time, water. Gutters manage water. You get a lot of water, you need a gutter. It's very simple. The theory, though, is the way our roofs are designed here in Florida, you shouldn't need one. It's not really true. It's just kind of a feel-good story that doesn't make a lot of sense. What happens? If the roof is designed correctly, the water will hit the shingle, it will go down, and it will drip straight down. If it hits right here, if you look outside, you will have erosion all over the ground right here, and that water normally is going to track back into your foundation. Common. Second, if this isn't designed perfectly, which very few things in Florida are designed perfectly, the water has surface tension. So it's going to go down your shingle, roll down your drip edge, and want to go right here into this fascia, which is normally just a board. All the water from your roof is dripping down onto this board. There is a high likelihood that this board will be rotting or could rot out. What's wrong with that? Well, when your fascia gets rotted, it lines up with your rafter or your roof tail in your roof. Well, if that gets rotted too, because it connects right at the back, you now have a very weak spot on your roof. How do we avoid this? Well, considering you can't guarantee that all these angles line up perfect because every house is different, you put a gutter right here. Right there, you slide it up under the drip edge, so when that water comes down the shingle, rolls down the drip edge, goes in the gutter, and then you control it with the downspout away from soffit, fascia, foundation, windows, doors, openings. It is a management tool. If you do not have a gutter currently, there is a good chance that your home is being exposed to unnecessary water that's either sitting against your foundation, absorbing by your foundation, or absorbing into your roof line. Why not have a gutter? Roof's going to cost you anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 or more, depending on the home. It could also be a little less, but really, sub a $10,000 roof doesn't even really exist in Florida if you have a single family home. Very, very rarely. Roof repairs are $10,000 now. It would be worth it to spend $3,000 to $7,000 on a quality gutter system that will prevent you from having to repair a roof or get a new roof. Or when you get a new roof, if your rafters and underneath of here is plywood, if that stuff is rotted, that can exponentially increase the cost of your roof. Period. If you have to redo all the plywood underneath the shingles because there's rotting everywhere or the roof edge is shot, they may have to cut and fix these rafters. That is very expensive. To do that, you're going to be a couple $100s per rafter, and the rafter should be normally every 16 to 24 inches, depending on when and how the home was built. They're normally pretty close together. So if you think about that, if you have a whole row of those rotted, there's two sides to them normally because the home has an arch, you could be spending a ton of money very, very quickly. Better to be preventive than reactive. Very, very simple. We always want to make sure that we're doing things that prevent catastrophic problems. Just like this. If you get a ton of erosion at the base of your home, Florida, the homes are normally on a slab. There's not many basements here. What's the biggest fear that people have? Well, if erosion and you have issues right there, right up against the foundation, if your foundation cracks or has a problem, or God forbid somehow a sinkhole appears, you now are spending way more money to get that fixed than it would be if you'd have just bought a quality gutter system. Weigh the pros and cons.